They wrote tens of thousands of babies and their parents may be exposed
It's all
to
in the Supreme Court.
myriad harms.
I blame them for everything because they allowed all this. And when we get the House back, Democrats, we need to draw up a bill to get rid of these Supreme Court justices that are politically motivated. You should not be in the highest court in the nation being as a politically motivated judge. And we need to draw up a bill, seriously, because it can't keep going on like this. Because if it happened once, it can happen again if we don't change the policy of that Supreme Court bench. That is the main problem. We have to go after that Supreme Court bench. And you know which one Supreme Court justice I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all of them because all of them ain't bad. But the ones that are politically motivated, you know who you are, and y'all know who they are. And that's the ones we need to get out of there. But they do not belong there.
Right, so that no executive power, no person, no sole institution can ever lead us to this conversation where suddenly citizenship could be defined by race, by heritage, or blood, which is something that, for instance, J.D. Vance is actively doing. But here we are. And so that is
the we got to drop a bill to get that.
The most terrible form of cruelty is when you're able to
gut that Supreme Court bench.
And so if the administration suddenly deprives people
we have to draw a bill, sorry.
What do they do?
Democrats, when we get that House back, draw that bill up, man. That should be the first thing on that bill. Besides changing everything else that this dummy messed up and the Supreme Court allowed, we're going to slide that in there too. And from now on, if you are politically motivated as a Supreme Court justice, you are liable to be unbenched.
What are they experiencing?
If you're not for the people, then why are you on that bench? You don't make judgment politically for one man. The hell is wrong with you? You are supposed to be the Supreme Court.
We have people who are being racially profiled. That's part of the lawsuit that will be
Supreme Court is all to blame.
Racially profiled who are being swept up. They're showing up at car washes. They're picking nannies up.
We got to stop beating around the bush and realize who the real blame is on. It's on the Supreme Court for allowing him to do this.
Violating people's constitutional rights. And then, once they have people in their custody, they are keeping them in dungeon-like conditions. Just yesterday, we spoke to a man who has prostate cancer, who is very ill. He was held for over 4 days in a room with more than 60 people.
You see what you did, Supreme Court?
He was unable to even lay on the floor fully to sleep. People are being
the judgments you passing down is messing with people's quality of life. Oh, everybody gonna die, but not on your terms. Why people gotta die on your terms?
And part of the challenge in this lawsuit,
people should die on your terms.
Denying them access to counsel. Our lawyers and myself have been there, and we've even had force used against us. Have had tear gas used against attorneys who are.
That's murder. If somebody die on your terms.
People's basic constitutional rights. LA right
That's
now
murder. If somebody die on your terms. Remember that, Supreme Court.